So what are they going to do? They're going to attack a minority church or college or grocery store, some type of minority gathering.
Or a massive white supremacist attack they stage. That's all the pre-programming in the media, so you know what's coming.
And you're going to be bad because you were a Republican voter, period. That's how they intend to do this, is connect the Republican Party to white supremacism and the Second Amendment to it. That's how they're pushing for violence and preparing real false flags. Not just guys dressed up like white nationalists to discredit the Republican gubernatorial candidate in Virginia, but violence, my friends. And that's so if you go to a black church or you go to a rural, say, black grocery store, you better be packing. You better be watching. Because let me tell you, the deep states are coming. So what are they going to do? They're going to attack a minority church or college or grocery store, some type of minority gathering. And they're either going to completely false flag it and do it 100% themselves, or they're going to find mentally ill, incel, white supremacist types that'll really be devil worshipers, whacked out of their minds on prescription and illegal drugs. It'll be a 2 or 3 man idiot squad that'll go in and start shooting black people at a church. Then there'll be a backup team that'll kill them, claiming they committed suicide, who will then actually kill a couple hundred black people. Because the Satanists always start shooting people and they kind of, wow, I'm actually killing somebody. This isn't as cool as I thought. And then they get killed by the black op team. The black op team then kills the lion's share of the people. They're going to want a big number, hundreds of dead black children. So if you go to a black church or you go to a, rural, say, black grocery store, you better be packing. You better be watching. Because let me tell you, the deep states are coming. It's going to be the whole collapse of society, and you're going to be bad because you were a Republican voter, period. That's how they intend to do this, is connect the Republican Party to white supremacism and the Second Amendment to it. That's how they plan to overturn it. That's the whole program you're seeing right now. But if the people are aware of it, it's over. This is the New World Order's revolution. This is an assault, and it only gets worse from here. And that's why no matter how much heat they get and how bad they look, and no matter how much everything they do falls apart, they are moving towards staging massive terror attacks and other crises to blame their opposition and frame us for terror so they can move directly against us.
They're going to try to launch a race war, going to pull off a false flag event, try to blame, of course, the gun owners and Trump supporters and Christians and so on. They will see if the people will comply to turn in their guns, which I believe people will not comply. That would be insane at this point. The police being defunded and violent crime exploding, all across liberal cities everywhere. People need self-defense more than ever, including, by the way, women and people of color, and also gays and lesbians and transgenders are buying guns more than ever before right now. So it's the left that's buying guns more than ever. So it's going to make gun control very difficult among left-wing legislators. So they're going to try to push a false flag, and they're going to try to take the guns. If we, the American people, if we surrender our guns, I believe we will be invaded.
They are planning, in my view, false flag terror attacks here in America to cement their rollout against us.
Massive white supremacist attack they stage. That's all the pre-programming in the media, so you know what's coming.
They're pushing for violence and preparing real false flags. Not just guys dressed up like white nationalists to discredit the Republican gubernatorial candidate in Virginia, but violence, my friends. And that's why they're freaking out, because that's the card they want to play. That's the point we've gotten to. Now, there they are declaring that the number one terror threat is white people to create division. And then what happened yesterday? They released their new official paper where they tell us we're guilty of being evil terrorists because we support national sovereignty and conservative Christian values, populist values, just common sense values. And then they later put the reports out saying that imminent terror attacks before the election are coming from Republicans who are, quote, white supremacists, who are, quote, terrorists. Here's the headline, Jamie White, Infowars.com. You can read the government document for yourself. It's linked right there. DHS releases new rules on extremism. Will target anyone who questions 2020 election or challenges COVID narrative. Conspiracy theories about 2020 presidential election and government's COVID response will almost certainly spur domestic terrorism and extremists to try to engage in violence this year, DHS claims. And then it goes through the entire report that you can again read at the article at Infowars.com. So, everybody thinking that we're going to defeat the Democrats and that everything is okay, this is all pre-scripted, this is all pre-planned, and they're planning massive terror attacks, mass shootings, bombings of federal buildings right now to blame the Tea Party, to blame Trump supporters, to blame you. I know that as their evil plan unfolds, more people will wake up by necessity and realize that we must stop complying with this New World Order. It's designed to get us to carry out violence, and they think they can win that. They know intellectually, long term, they're going to lose. Even though Democrats are everywhere calling for violence right now. We're calling for peace. They say 1776 means violence. No, it means the answer in 1984 equals 1776. We're in an info war. Info war means information war. The pen is mightier than the sword.
All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Chachodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the elect, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. Right, in this particular video, I want to talk about race wars, sedition amongst men, and how that can lead into a race war. And I believe, well, the scriptures talk about race war, sedition amongst men, and civil war. So, and I believe that that's actually going to happen through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And what made me make this video is I was watching Alex Jones, and he showed clips of himself last year, I believe, predicting that they were going to stage false flag terror attacks to blame on a specific group, preferably the Trump supporters, label them as white supremacists, which a lot of them are anyway, and try to rouse up Jake so they can go against them, which starts a race war. But they're also going to do it on the opposite end too. Get Jake to go over there and do something to them so they can rouse up a race war, right? So they can stage a race war. And also they want to kill two birds with one stone, because there's going to be guns that's going to be involved in attacking one another, right? So then they can have people give up their guns, all right? Which that right there is most likely going to start the civil war when you try to take away Esau's blessing. His blessing was the sword, and I believe the elites are going to rouse up something in his spirit that he's not going to let go of those guns whatsoever. I talk to a lot of Edomites out here anyway, and they say, over my dead body. Even little old white ladies, they say the same thing. And if you look at them, I don't think they lie. All right. Now the scriptures talk about race war, sedition amongst men. So we're going to get inside of that. We're going to get a few definitions. All right. So let's start with the race war. All right. Let's Zechariah chapter 9 and 13. And we read, when I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raise up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. Right, this is a race war. This is the Israelites going against, who's the sons of Greece? Talking about the Edomites. Huh? All right, talking about the Edomites. That's a race war right there. So we already knew that. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 15. And we read, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. Right, that's a race war right there. One people, the so-called Edomites, the so-called white people, which are the biblical Edomites, against Jake, so-called black people, black Hispanics and Native Americans. All right, and swords in their hands. Right, the modern day sword is what? Guns. And that can go down to a literal sword, a pipe, a bat. It's going to be a war. In war, you grab anything. But there's going to be a lot of guns in there, right? And this right here is a part of Esau's plan. But the Lord told us that this was going to happen. But right now we see these shootings, these false flag shootings and all this other shit that's going on, that went on in the previous years, that they were trying to start up a race war. You got the Black Lives Matter out there. You got the Not Fucking Around coalition that said if white people are going to start shooting us at this time, that we're going to start shooting white people at this time. And you have so-called white militias out there that want to kill Jake. All right? There was one white militia that they stopped. The FBI got them, and they were going around. They wanted to go around and kill the power in like a city. No, they wanted to really do it in a state. They wanted to do it in the whole state. Shut the power down and keep the power company moving by keep on shutting them down. And as they shut them down, kill all the Jakes. They wanted to kill Asians and all that too, but they're focusing mainly on Jake because Esau has a thing with hating us, man. We're going to get that Genesis 21 and Genesis 27 and 41. And they wanted to make a pure ethno state, which means nobody but their ethnicity is in that state. They wanted to make it just so-called white people in that state. All right. So this race war is pending. All right. So let's go on to sedition amongst men. Going down to 16. For there shall be sedition among men. Sedition means what? A rebellion rising up against the government. Let's get that. Define sedition. Sedition. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or a monarch. Right. You see these people doing it right now. They've done it last year or 2 years ago, this Million MAGA March. And why was they doing that? Because they're hip to Esau's New World Order agenda to destroy America and build up in another image, in the New World Order image, if I can say it like that. They're hip to Esau putting that goddammit in you, that juice, trying to kill you that way, trying to take the guns, trying to basically destroy America. And they got hip to it. So guess what? They went out there and they started protesting. And then they was rebelling against the government, the authority. And they were inciting people to come out and join them. I'm tripping over my word, Salakia, for that. So when it says sedition amongst men, that's what it means. All right. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. So just go over it again. So how is sedition going to lead into a full-blown civil war? It's because they're rising up against the government because they know they have a New World Order agenda. And a part of that agenda is to what? Take the guns. And after they take the guns, they can be what? Invaded. So you have people now getting together to fight the government. And with these false flag terror attacks as being blamed on them, they know that that's the way they're going to get in and try to take the guns. All right. So this sedition, when you hear that, it's loaded. We know what that is loaded with. All right. So I hope this was edifying. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.